did the mash.
He did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
He did the monster mash.
Welcome to Trivial Debates.
Jody's saying something. I can't hear him.
Yep.
No sound.
Jason is having problems with his mic, but it's corrected now. Welcome to this month's edition of Trivial Debates, the ultimate pop challenge. I'm your host, Jason Forsythe, and we have some awesome new debates this month. Each episode, our panelists will be judged and scored on their arguments for facts, passion, and creativity. The panelists this week are Davan Skelhorn. Hello, Davan. And his lovely daughter.
Hi.
Hopefully I'm not
Since Jason Voorhees doesn't have a voice, I suppose that could be it.
Listen, how was I going to do it without a voice? Anyway, who's our next contestant?
Is that a funny joke, Eddie?
Chris Murphy. Hello, Chris Murphy.
Hello. I've come from
Who's
the
our
depths of the
third
wizardry.
panelist today?
Yeah, the third guy's not here yet.
Oh,
Well, want me to get André in?
he gets 2 points.
Whoever,
deducted.
I don't care. Whoever it is, let's just get him here and go.
We'll see who gets here first, I guess.
Whoever gets here first gets in.
We were supposed to
The
start
other
at
one
10
will be
a.m.
banished. Hello, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Okay, Edith, you're the third contestant. She's ready.
Well,
I
then
told
she
you you brought her
wins.
in.
We're done. She's too
I
cute
think what
not
we
to
can-
win.
How about we start and at some point the third contestant will come in?
That sounds great.
All right.
All right. Ding ding.
Yeah.
Oh, wait
It's
a
been-
second. I have more of an intro, don't I?
Yeah. You can intro
I'm
the
terrible
show.
and I don't have my glasses on. Anyway, this is how this show works. There are 6 rounds plus a speed round by our 2 top panelists. We have categories such as movies, television, music, sports, history, and a wild card where anything goes.
Really?
Woo.
Very
How
good.
exciting, but keep it PG, people, please. Anyway, we want people with a passionate and not personally mean, but today is okay because it's an exception because it's Halloween. Anyway, keep in mind that you can also skip to a new debate by looking at the time indexes in the description on that YouTube thing. I don't have a computer, so I don't know. But my knife works really good. Anyway, let's get ready to stab and rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Please don't sue us. All right. First question. Movies. Why am I getting things like Team Davan up here? No one's on Team Davan. Anyway, which horror video game could be made into a very successful movie? And Davan, you can go first.
Well, as we all know, I am an expert in these matters. So clearly I know the answer, the correct answer. It's Dead Space. Why? I'll tell you why. Because it's a triple threat of fear is what it is. You've got these like zombie-like creatures running around. So that's already one brand of horror. You've also got like hallucinogenic effects happening. So you've got that type of horror as well. And on top of that, it's in space, which is more terrifying than both of those things. So it's a win-win-win of scary. There's no topping it here. That's all I need. Triple threat of fear, man. What do you want?
I wasn't
No one
very
hears you.
threatened.
Use
No
up
one,
all your-
no one hears you scream in space.
Chris, feel free to use up your entire minute just because we're waiting on a third contestant.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna take my time. In fact, I'm gonna take the mask off here just so
Oh
we're
my
wow.
God!
perfectly
Put it
clear.
back on.
Oh God. Okay, maybe
just
you're
don't
right. No.
know.
No,
So my choice for the best horror video game that would make
Just one?
for a successful movie is Eternal Darkness, Serenity's Requiem, I believe. Basically, it's Eternal Darkness. It is a game that was created by a Canadian developer called Silicon Knights. The premise of it is it stars with you playing a character named Alexandra Roivas in the year 2000 AD. And you are sent to the Roivas estate to uncover the mystery of why your father died. And in uncovering that mystery, you end up discovering the entire Roivas bloodline, which spans 12 characters. All right, so there's 12 characters. That's 12 individual storylines. Throughout these 12 individual storylines, you discover the book, which is bound with human skin, known as the Tomb of Eternal Darkness. And in this book, it was originally discovered by Pius Augustus back in 26 BC. It is ultimately which leads to his demise, but turns him into an eternal undead being where he's trying to serve an all-powerful god. Through this book, you're discovering runes. There is an adventure through this game to discover these runes, puzzles and throughout. There are various zombies, monsters of all sorts. And while this game is playing, throughout the entirety of it, there are 42 different fourth wall breaking effects that happen throughout the game. There's a sanity meter that completely just messes with your perception of what's happening and what reality is going on in the game. So you have an insanity meter with the perception. You have the a lineage spanning ages from 26 BC to 2000, covering 12 storylines. You also have within all this leading to alien gods that potentially damage and destroy the earth. Now, why would all this craziness make for a good series? Think of it this way. If you had a one season where you could explore all these events, have individual episodes jumping through the individual stories from spanning like a Pius Augustus back in ancient Persia, going to like Obu temple in France, where
seems way longer than a minute.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
I am
longer than a minute.
so
It's been
high.
at least 3 minutes, but
I think Davan should get to talk a little bit more.
Well, let me tell you, you know what else is eternally dark? Space. Yeah.
Ooh.
Also, so you also have eternal darkness, but it's space. So it also suffocates you to death, or rips you apart, or it burns you. Scary. And you also have zombies. So what are you going to do? You can't run. Usually you run to get away from zombies, but you know what? You can't because you're in space. And you're also hallucinating. So it's like, are they even zombies? Well, they are. So you better not be like, oh, I'm just tripping, because you're dead if you do that. Okay?
All right, producer Dave, what are we doing
Space.
here?
well,
Dead
where's
space.
Ryland?
I don't know.
I sent him a message. I guess he's still stuck in traffic or something.
When we say we're starting at a time, you got to be here at the time you say you're going to be here at.
That's not how it works, Dave. You know this.
Listen, that is how it works. Don't make me stab people.
Like, it drives me
Yeah, well.
crazy. Don't say you're going to be somewhere and don't be there.
It also drives me crazy.
Here, let me put on my old man glasses and I will read some comments. Nothing good here.
Oh, jeez. All right, Edith, you're in.
Team Davan, no.
Team Davan, that's a good one. Put that one up. I think there's another one. Go, Davan. Yeah.
Let's go, Davan. Apparently Sam really likes you.
Well, I'm a good guy. He's a good guy.
Wow, Jody, that is not much of a costume for you.
Looks just like you.
You know, Sam, I gotta take my glasses off here for a minute.
No.
You're gonna make me cry. Don't do that. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Anyway,
Jason,
what are we
Jason
doing?
has
Are we just voting on
feelings.
this one, Dave?
Jason has feelings.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what I
Man.
don't have all the answers, but
All right, fair enough.
yeah.
I will. I'm going to make a vote here.
You want to open debate my rebuttal?
Yeah,
there,
let's
or-
open debate. Let's open debate for a bit.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Well, for one, I guess the general open debate would be that I don't think Davin's actually, played Dead Space, so he doesn't really know
What?
anything about the game.
What? That's like slander.
Well, I mean, you have said personally that you haven't played anything beyond a Super Nintendo, so I mean, maybe an N64 at best.
You clearly don't remember Dead Space for the SNES. Legend.
I would be very impressed if
I don't
that
think
was a
anybody
thing,
remembers
but-
Dead Space for the SNES because it didn't exist.
Yeah. Eternal Darkness is a game that not only when you beat it once, you can go back and play it again. So there was 3 different colors you could pick between: red, green, and blue. They all had different types of magic. Those magics defeated different types of monsters. Each time you played the game, when you beat it, you could go back, play it all again. All the puzzles and all the monsters you defeated were slight variations, and you would get a different ending. And you could do this 3 times, and at the end of the 3rd time, you would then get to use all 3 colors and powers to go against a purple variant, and you had this crazy cinematic ending at the end of that. So I always thought that if you were to take this game and turn it into a show, it would be really neat if you had the first season, you had all the events happen at the end, and then you have the second season.
Look, this is
not only
not
the
scary.
first season.
This is boring.
Okay,
So let me
It is
put a
scary.
cap on
You want
this.
to know
Let me
why
put a
it's
cap on
scary?
this.
Because
You know
it
why?
has-
This is a
Dead
movie
Space-
question.
You know why
Yeah.
Dead Space would make the best movie? Because
Why?
John Carpenter says he wants to make a Dead Space movie. John Carpenter knows horror better than any of us. And of all the video games out there, he thinks Dead Space would make the best movie. And I agree. Like Event
Why would it
Horizon,
make the best movie?
horror in space. It's horror. It's the triple threat. That's why. Triple threat of horror. Like you can lean into any one of those for any part of the movie. Very scary.
Murphy, in under
Strapped.
20 seconds, tell me why your movie would be better.
mean his
Eternal
show?
Darkness would be better because it has a deeper storyline than Zombies in Space, trying to go after a magical rune, which Davin probably didn't even know. Eternal Darkness has technically a
course I knew
flesh
that.
book that has all sorts of runes, all sorts of zombie, not just zombies, but larger monsters, and fourth wall breaking, psychological bending, reality questioning events that happen throughout that can really screw with the viewer if they're watching this kind of movie, or because they could be thinking one thing happens and then all of a sudden there's a flash and they're pulled back 5 to 10 15 seconds of what just happened, and it could be something entirely different, or there could be blood changing with walls. Like when there I say there are
Blood's
42
not scary.
different
Zombies trying to kill
events.
you is scary while you're hallucinating in space.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The fourth wall
All
breaking
right, I've
hallucinations
made my
happening in
decision.
Eternal Darkness are quite terrifying.
I have
The
made my
Eternal-
decision.
Wait,
Rye
wait,
has made
don't
it.
make your decision yet.
Rise here.
Don't make
rise
your
here.
decision yet. Coming in like a third act wind.
All right. We're going to give you Rye. Welcome, by the way. Thanks for filling in.
Can we hear him?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Ryland?
We can't hear him.
Okay.
I can only see blackness.
He's adjusting.
He's adjusting. He's figuring out. He's new to this, folks. Give us a moment.
Tell us an interesting anecdote, Jody.
Like what?
I don't know.
Tell us something about Jason Voorhees since you're wearing his mask.
He's got cool merchandise. I got a jersey that matches this, but I didn't wear it.
No,
And
really?
I purposely didn't shower today, so that way when my hair would look kind of messy.
That's
Ooh,
good.
wow.
So there you go.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
some good stuff. All right, we're still waiting on Rye here.
He's still trying to
Oh,
figure out
we
his
are?
microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go get some goldfish crackers. Not for me.
Okay.
Yeah, liar. He lies.
Well, let's use some of maybe our fun music, like.
Please don't sue.
This is royalty.
Yeah, I
free.
think. Yeah, I think this is like the loop music that this general thing offers.
Oh, he's
Come on,
doing
Rye,
something.
figure it out.
Where's he going?
Now he's leaving.
It's probably gone to get something in.
Look at that
placement.
exposure on that camera, eh?
Yeah.
Dude, that auto exposure is going wild.
Woo!
There's nuclear bombs going off in St. Thomas right now.
What is gross? What is gross?
That you
Whatever
didn't
you-
shower, I guess.
Well, I'm gonna shower after this.
He said, "Getting a mic from the studio. Hold, please." Is what he put in the
Oh,
chat.
okay.
So, all right.
Let me put my old man glasses on for a minute.
Well, this is the fun of live broadcast.
Live.
Hey, if there wasn't accidents, it wouldn't be entertaining, right? I think it'll be great. Once this little
we get
hiccup
going
is
here.
smoothed out, we're gonna be great. We're gonna be shining. We can edit this out and post later.
I blame this on Gremlins.
We could, but I won't.
Where are them Gremlins?
Do we still have no rye?
Well, his
No.
microphone's
Getting
not
a mic.
working, and now he's gone to find one, I think, or something. And
Oh, Andre says he's here if needed.
well,
Yeah, thanks. Hour and a half ago.
Yeah, I know, but he says he is.
before Ryland came along, but oh boy,
What do you
Yeah,
want to do
let's
about
Let's
it?
give him a
Something.
moment. Let's give him a moment.
This is why auto exposure is a bad idea.
If I go
Yeah.
into a seizure, I can't debate.
Maybe that's Rye's entire way of thinning down the crowd here.
he's been gone for a while.
Well, maybe his studio's somewhere else.
Do I give Andre the go ahead?
His house is fairly big. No, just literally just give him like 5 seconds. He's probably just like figuring it out.
There he is. Maybe that was the seizure starting. I don't know. Yep, it was the seizure. Damn it. Damn it.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your friend while we wait for him?
Well, Ryland's a good buddy of mine that I've known since high school. We're, back in the old Sackville High School days. So he's also an East Coaster. He's got a lot
The guy
of
who
big
just
movie
Rye says he's getting a mic from the studio. If he's got a studio, why the fuck isn't he there right now? What the fuck is going on here? Oh my god.
knowledge.
Is he still
Sam's
in
got a
Nova Scotia?
podcast for us to check out. I guarantee you, Sam, it's better than this one.
It could be. That is possible.
Good thing. Well, everyone's gonna
Oh my
like
god.
when they look
How
at the
long
time
do we
index.
watch this blink before?
The time index is going to be
React.
insane on this one.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, why was this movie around 35 minutes long?
They really talked a lot.
Oh my god, this
This is
All
killing
right,
us.
well, I'm gonna go parent. You guys let me know if
All
something
right.
happens.
Yeah, I might go get a drink or something.
Or you want me to call on?
I might go kill some people.
Like we're live here, Ryland. Where are you? Oh God.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Sorry, guys. Everybody.
All right. You know what? Should I just tell Andre or what? Rye abandoned us.
I guess I don't. It's like we're between two contestants who both have not brought anything, other than problems. So I appreciate.
can
Isn't
solve
that
this.
big, Murphy?
I win. How's that?
Well, this is unexpected.
Dun, dun.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna tell Andre to show
All
up.
right,
and
tell him
whoever
to
gets
come
here
in. I
first.
guess I don't know what else to
Alright.
do.
Oh,
All right,
I
bye,
can't.
Rye.
I can't because
Thanks
my
for
phone
trying.
died. You guys will have to do it.
Oh, now he's come
Oh,
back.
he's there now. Damn
Oh,
it.
okay.
Oh.
Wait.
Maybe.
Alright,
Right,
we're
do
just
something.
He's figuring it out.
Old man glasses on again.
said his mic's not working for some reason.
All right, bring it, Andre. We're
You
done.
guys do it. My phone's not working.
Phone's not working.
And Andre a message. My phone ran out of power in all this kerfuffle this morning.
What is going on?
You know, I've decided I'm never going to be on this show again.
It's probably a good decision.
I haven't made speed round questions.
This show
That's how-
dying on Halloween is at least, thematic.
Yeah.
It's a real horror show right now, that's for sure.
Well, I messaged Andre, but I don't know if he's going to come in or not.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
This is a shit show.
I think we could just remember this as like the worst episode ever.
I get a minus 10 off of everybody.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You all fail.
This is worse
Well,
than
I'm
the
gonna
last
fail
9
my-
episodes. Or the last
have to watch
debate
it in the
9, he
middle of
says.
This is worse than the last Debate 9 episode.
Whoa. Whoa. What was wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, because Jody won.
Shots fired.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Did I win a Debate 9?
Didn't you win the last one?
I don't know. You know what the problem is? When you win so much that you just don't notice it anymore.
Gene thinks I should come in as the third.
I think you should. Let's do it.
I'm not really prepared.
Well, you're still more prepared than these guys are.
It's just like a series of unfortunate events. This is kind of hilarious.
It is spooky Halloween, that's
Um,
why.
Wait,
Oh,
is he there?
Right,
No.
seems to be trying. Oh, I just heard something.
Oh,
Yeah?
Somebody
I
punched-
can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you.
Success!
Yes. All right.
Too fucking brave here.
We won't be able to see you though because of your exposure on your camera.
Fucking great.
Well, I mean,
It adds to the ambiance though.
Well,
Yeah.
Ryland, are you ready to
Dave and I
start?
quit. You're all on your own now.
it's fine. We don't need to see you. We just need to hear you at this point.
I can't hear him now though. Oh, he's
Light-
muted right now.
He's lighting a dart.
Oh, he's
What's
trying. He's trying to see if he can get something. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Worry about your
That's
darts.
better
You're like
anyway.
50 minutes late.
We'll take you as a shadow at this point.
All right. Well, your time starts now. Let's.
You might want to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Question is, which horror video game could be made into a very successful movie?
I'll unmute you. There you go.
Oh, he's muted.
Oh, they're
still.
not connected. Andre's coming.
Oh my god.
First one we hear is the debater because they're at the same time. Okay. Yeah.
You're
Can't hear
muted.
you, bro. Your mic's not connected.
What? What did I miss?
He's muted, but it's not us that's muted him.
They won't let me
It's-
unmute him.
Yeah, I can't unmute him.
Device is not connected.
Well, Andre will be here in 2 seconds. I just sent him the link. This is going to be the episode people talk about for years because I lose my shit. And everyone has to sit here and listen to it. Right? Try to keep it together. I'm the keep it together guy. Okay?
Oh, now
Ryland,
they're
please
they're
speak.
both
Ryland.
here.
Damn it!
Oh no.
Can we hear you,
Does Andre
Ryan?
have volume?
Here, we'll get
Can
this
we
out of here.
hear?
For a sec. Okay.
It's all right. If
Oh,
we get
yeah.
my replacement
Somebody's
is already
tired.
here, that's fine.
Even
I
young
can
Sam is
download.
swearing. Come on now.
Can
Andre.
we hear Andre?
volume?
Andre?
Yes.
You're the
I can hear
guy.
Andre.
You're the guy.
You're the
I
guy.
say we let them both. I say we let them both do it.
Let's do it.
Yes. All right. Well,
Yeah, because we haven't gone long. enough.
Andre, you begin. Ryan,
still
you
doesn't
figure
have
out your
volume.
mic issues.
Andre's the guy.
All right, Andre.
All right.
Question. What's your answer?
All right. Let me look at the list of them because I just literally didn't even know I was still back in the mix. So I ran back down here. Movie
You
question.
weren't.
Which horror video game would be that one most successfully made into a
Yep.
movie?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
on
So
it.
there's a little known video game from PlayStation that came out in like, I don't know, the 2000s called Apocalypse starring Bruce Willis. Does anybody recall this game?
Yes, I own it.
Yes. So Bruce Willis was the motion capture person for the film for the game, and he played basically a cop who is investigating a scientist who goes nuts and is trying to start the apocalypse by creating the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So it's kind of like Seven, where these like really brutal sort of experiments with trying to turn regular humans into something more to start the apocalypse. And it's a really neat game. It's very cool, very dark, cinematic, and Bruce Willis is already the star of it. So it was very interesting, and it really played like a movie at the time period. So like all the pieces were there already. I know Bruce Willis is bowed out of acting now because of his aphasia, but otherwise it was a really neat idea and a really cool concept that I think would make for a really cool like David Fincher-esque Seven horror movie.
Okay, that's time.
All right.
All right. So
Yeah.
Do
I
you want to have the
Willis
open
just try to
debate?
defeat my triple threat of horror? Come on.
All right. Open debate.
Bruce Willis versus the triple threat of hallucinations, zombie things, and space itself.
You
Okay,
said
so
what,
you
Event
both,
Horizon?
you
Bruce
both
Willis.
want to go to space, the final frontier.
It's scary.
I,
No one can hear you scream. It's eternally dark, you might say.
yeah. Well,
Space
I'm
is
not going to
scary.
deny you that, but also the creatures from Eternal Darkness came from space as well. So it was sort of like an alien invasion happening on Earth, but it spanned throughout human history and affected various aspects of human history and the lives within them. So I don't see Dead Space being that great of a show, or definitely not Apocalypse. We're talking Apocalypse, like the one on the space rock where Steve Buscemi goes space crazy and is like,
No, that was called
that one?
Armageddon. Armageddon.
Oh, no.
Armageddon.
And that's
Wait,
Apocalypse
what-
was a
Now that was scary.
the main hype to that game was the fact that they had Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
in
it
motion
was, yeah.
capture and he I think he actually wrote part of it as well.
It was pretty interesting. Like it was, it was a PlayStation 1 game, so it wasn't like the best thing or PlayStation 2 game.
It was like a top-down kind of shooter in a way.
Yeah, but the ideas behind the concepts of it were cool. And Event Horizon was already done, Dead Space is already done. It was called Event Horizon, and it was a great movie. Go watch that.
Well, Event Horizon came before Dead Space, but
Exactly. So
Look.
they ripped it off.
Ryland, do you have a take
Look.
on this?
This has been a 30-minute debate here. Let me put a cap on this. Andre says in brackets, Bruce Willis game. It's out. Nothing's more eternally dark than space. Murphy's out. Give me the point, Jody.
I'm sorry, but your argument is nothing's more
All right.
eternally dark than
you allowed
space.
to
Come on,
strong arm your way
literally
into
did
I'm done.
Lineage and
Triple threat of
history.
fear.
Can I
I'm
strong arm my
done.
way into winning? I can threaten people too if that's going to get me a point.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna give this one to Chris.
What?
Well, he's the only one that actually told me why it would be good and how it would work and all that. So, not that
Well,
Andre
because
had
he
much of a
10
time
minutes to
period
do
there,
so.
but
I'm
I'm gonna take this mask off because it's driving me fucking nuts.
Yeah, you should. You should.
There we go. All
Hey.
right.
Okay, so
Oh,
I
God,
feel like
put
we're
it
ready
back
for the
on.
TV round. Ryland, are we able to hear you?
Can you hear me yet?
Yes.
we can hear you now.
So
There we go.
since you're here, welcome.
Sort of.
You can, if you want to participate,
We can alternate with him. Just have him do the next question. I'll do the one
feel
after.
free to work with André. You're like a team now. So
I see. Okay. We'll do that.
So we can, or even if you just want to be a commentator, that's fine too.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so let's get into the TV round and
Next
get on
question.
track.
TV. Bing bang. All right. Improve a past or current TV show by replacing one main character with a horror monster or villain. And we're gonna go with Davan first on this. Oh, wait a second. No, Davan went first last time, didn't he?
Give Murphy the first one here.
Yeah,
Murphy.
give it to
Murph
me.
man.
Give it to me. Bring it over here. Let me see. Yeah, that's right. I want you to think about Mad Milkinson's. I'm fucking up that last name, but I want Mikkelsen. Mad Mikkelsen's Hannibal against I forget the actor's name at the moment, but Dexter Morgan. Dexter Morgan versus Hannibal. I sent a really nice graphic to producer Dave. I don't know if you can that up at any point, but if he did, it's fine. Don't worry, Dave. It's been a stressful episode. I'll just talk to you through this. Think about the suave, gentleman-like rapture that is Mad Milkinson's Hannibal from that glorious series, going against the very thoughtful narrative psychosis of Dexter Morgan. Having a whole season of those two going back and forth chasing each other would just be such chef's kiss, wonderful delight entertainment. I would die to see these two on screen together. I think it would just be pure fun. If you're a fan of either of these series, just saying the two names alone inspires great imagery. So that's my choice.
All right. And let's go with let's do André next.
Alrighty.
Ryland.
Or Rye. Sorry, is it Rye that's going to be doing it?
No, whatever you guys want.
So yeah, this one was a complete throwaway in my opinion when Murphy gave me the answers or the questions before, but I wanted to replace Jim from The Office with Pinhead.
All right, let's hear it.
Now, like I said, it was pretty much a complete throwaway. I think the dynamic between Pinhead and Pam would be absolutely amazing, and then with Dwight, oh my god.
He's like wearing a tie. Just Pinhead in an office environment sounds hilarious to me in any way. That's awesome.
All right.
Great choice. I was going to throw in mine because I was really happy with it. We don't have to include it in the thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, you guys got 40 seconds left. So
okay. So mine is.
How about you throw it in, then you two can decide which one you want to go with.
Okay. So Family Matters. You have Urkel, the delightful little character next door that's always doing scientific things that go horribly wrong. I would replace Steve Urkel from Family Matters with Herbert West from Reanimator. So he would live next door to the Winslow family. All of his horrible zombie creations would get loose and wander over, and Carl would have to shoot them or help him hide all of the blowback from his experiments that go wrong. The show would essentially take a very horror twist, but in a comedy way, where Herbert West learns a little more about being human from the Winslows, while they help him clean up his messes from his horrible wanting to make godlike experiments.
Would Herbert West,
of course,
under the line though, did I do that?
Yes, of course. Yeah, he certainly would.
Perfect.
He'd have to do it in the way only Jeffrey Combs can do it, though. Like, did I do that? Something to that effect.
All right.
I think this is just a 4-person debate now.
It is.
Yeah, it's kind of a battle royale, but
that's fine. Let's do it. If I have to walk away, someone can win.
You're not walking anywhere, buddy. You're part of it.
Well, parenting could take over here. So, look, I got this one wrapped up too. Sound off in the comments, by the way. Gilligan's Island and the Thing. Okay.
Oh man, that's a good idea.
Sound off in the comments.
That's a good idea.
So, you have everybody trapped on an island, and goofy wackadoozle characters, But now, any of them, I made that up.
That's good.
You can feature it on the show. It's going to be crazy. There's now you add suspicion because one of them is a horrible monster that's slowly murdering the rest of them. So of course they're going to suspect Gilligan first, so he's the first to go probably. But I mean, it would just be tense. Like you could even just take like the last season of that series, and just throw the thing on there. You can replace any character. It doesn't really matter. Not Gilligan. You got to keep him.
All right. I've heard them all. There was some definitely good pitches there, actually. I was quite surprised. Basically, let's just do a free-for-all. Anybody want to jump in first?
I mean,
the other one suck.
I would say I don't know if I would consider these improvements hilarious. Sure, considering all of these these are comedy series, I thought if we're going with a horror theme because it's Halloween, we wanted to improve upon. So Dexter, I always felt was a bit of a stale, almost serial, quote unquote, like show where things repeated itself and there was always a monster of the season. But I think you could really improve upon that with Matt Milkinson's Hannibal because of his sinisterness and the incredible art that came with that show, Hannibal. Combining that would actually improve Dexter. The other shows would just be like massacring comedic family icons and an office full of inept paper salesmen and an island full of buffoons that couldn't sail the seven seas. So I don't know if these are improvements or just straight massacres.
Look. The question is, which would make the show better? Okay, and you're talking about this great show, and it's going to be maybe 1% better by adding Hannibal.
Well, no, but what he's describing
like that already.
What you're saying is two very.
If you add the thing to a rather bland show, which is Gilligan's Island.
Also, the question was to replace one main character.
Yeah. So who are you replacing?
I'll replace
to improve.
That's the thing about my concept. I'd rather not say because it could be any of them.
Well, that's convenient. But what you're describing, Murph, is that you're basically smashing two shows together. You're not even replacing a character. You're saying this show can mash into this show. And Dexter's whole gimmick is he just fights.
Is that not what we're doing essentially?
Well, he fights bad people, but he also fights other serial killers. And already did that in the best season of the show, which is season 4 with the Trinity Killers. So I get it. I love both shows, but both shows are full of dark humor as well. So
I think if you were to replace the season of the Trinity Killer with Hannibal instead, that would make.
Well, I think you give away the best part of Dexter for something that might be better, but I don't know. The aesthetic of that show, what Brian Fuller made, it's so great on its own. I don't know if mashing it into Dexter would make it better. I think it would just make Hannibal worse. I like Dexter, but Hannibal is a masterpiece, and it doesn't need improvement.
Well, it's not about making Hannibal improvements, but making Dexter.
But you would make it worse because you put it in Dexter. So you might make one better, but you would ruin the other one.
All right.
1 minute left. Anything else from Ryland?
Yeah,
honestly, I've really got to side with Andre on the whole Herbert West being in Family Matters. That's just excellent.
I like West is so good when he has a good straight man, and Carl Winslow is the ultimate straight man. So I just feel together they're two great tastes that go great together. And he'll get his peanut butter and his chocolate, and it'll be great. So we need more of that.
Look, I love Carl Winslow, but he's no match for Herbert West. It's not going to last.
He's not supposed to be a foil. He's a friend. He's trying to help him.
He's buddy next door.
Yeah, he's teaching him humanity while helping cover up all of his his various crimes against said humanity.
All right, I think I've made my decision.
Right.
I'm gonna go with. Ooh, this is tough because there's two of them that I actually like. I like Chris's because I like the concept of that, but I actually also like André's. You know what? I'm going to give this one to André just because out of the two shows, I would rather see the one that André picks.
No, it was the supreme choice, and honestly, he shot me down when he's like, "You're just mashing two shows together." I was like, "You're right, I am," because I had no fucking idea what to pick.
Well, this is my pocket. Horror stuff's my pocket, and it's funny when I got the list of options. I don't know why, but this one immediately popped in my head, and I was so happy with the idea of it. I kind of want to write it. I feel like maybe not Herbert West, but a version of it with the mad scientist next door. It sounds really fun.
You should.
I think I will.
Make it a stage play. It'll be funny.
Oh, that would be really good.
All right. Anyway, next question. Ding, ding. There we go. There's the dings are even on cue this time. All right. Which horror thriller movie had the best non-vocal score. So this has to be a score that doesn't have any lyrics in it.
Are there
so
any
basically
are there
instrumental.
any scores with lyrics?
Oh, tons. Well, no,
yeah.
they can't be. You're right. By definition, a score couldn't have lyrics.
Well, I guess yeah. Technically, if I use the term score, then I guess it wouldn't have.
You're not
vocal
you're score versus soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of
Yeah.
I guess like people chanting in the background would count as a not count as a soundtrack.
Yeah. No choirs, no funeral dirges. All right.
All right. Where's Davan? Did we lose Davan?
He's back and forth.
Is he babysitting?
Yeah, he's
All
got a
right.
baby.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, let's start with who are we going to start with this time? Let's start with
Either André or Ryland, I'd say.
Let's do Ryland. Let's do Ryland.
All right, yeah, my answer for this was pretty much any score by John Carpenter. The man can set a fucking mood.
All right. Unfortunately, that was already picked.
No, well, me and
Yeah.
him are kind of on the same team, I guess. So
Oh, it wasn't picked by you, Andre?
yeah, yes.
Okay, well
Oh,
then
perfect.
it works
Yeah.
fine then.
The
There you
Halloween
go.
score is. You can't tell me you don't hear the sound from Halloween and know immediately what it is. Brand recognition is very important when it comes to a theme song, and Carpenter is like, yeah, exactly.
Don't play too much. We don't want to get sued. All
Yeah,
right.
you hear that, you know what it is, and you cannot mistake it, and it is fantastic. It's endured like the series for so long. I think that's an integral part to its success is that haunting score that has not changed, and it's amazing. So yeah, I agree. I love John Carpenter. Anything by him, movie wise and music wise, I love. But Halloween is certainly the pinnacle of his work when it comes to scoring a film.
Absolutely, 100%.
Sounds good. All right, let's go with Chris because Davin's not here yet.
He was, but then he left.
There he is.
Well, my choice for I believe to be one of the best non-vocal or best scores from a movie is Evil Dead 2. Specifically, I wanted to highlight the scene of the corpse dance of Ash's ex-girlfriend. I find that piano to be very haunting, and that whole scene was always stuck with me for years.
Yeah.
I literally just watched this a day ago.
Evil Dead 2 is great.
This movie is one of the more iconic films, and I believe that score by Joseph Ladoca is just one of the more haunting pieces. That's my choice, basically.
All right. And Davin, unmute and let us know.
Look, those first two choices were so wrong. I'm just going to comment on them quickly. Right now. Andre, one recognizable
Dave, can you
riff
bring up the
does not
score?
does not a great score make.
No, the whole
Murphy.
score is fantastic. I'm just saying that song.
That's what I was gonna say. You can't say that before arguments. You gotta open with your.
All right, well, fine. Look, you just didn't want me to pick on your terrible choice.
Is
It sounded
David like the
so
heel
well
of
for
the
me.
show? Is he
Are we
like
watching
the
General
full-
Hospital, or are we talking about horror movies? Like
Davin
Anyway.
thinks
Tell us
that
your
every
choice
single
before you get into your
question,
argument.
he has the best
Look,
answer.
mine,
That's really what it
you
comes
you
down
have a great John Carpenter movie, which is The Thing. And John Carpenter, who's a great composer himself, hired somebody else to do the score for this movie, and it's the best scored John Carpenter movie. It has touches of jazz, blues, all of these things, but still doesn't lose this, and classical as well. And it doesn't lose its like atmospheric and haunting horror qualities. It actually has really creative ways to do it. There's this one scene where they must have like 40 violinists and they're all just banging on the
I got a
strings
quick
with their
clip here
bow.
for you, Davin, if you want it.
Okay. Okay.
I can
told
slam
Dave-
on the organ too.
I tried to get Dave to pick actually good clips. I knew you were going to do that to me, Dave.
That's the thing.
That didn't sell it for me. I can tell you that.
That's the
It
thing.
was literally the least. Anyway,
Well, you didn't send me a
that's
time
almost
index.
unfair.
Just
You
the
almost
thing.
just burned me there, Dave. Anyway, it's far more interesting than that one clip. Jazz, blues, classical, super interesting. Like the violin thing is what you should have got. Ding, 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 ding,
So,
ding. It's pretty-
who is it
Anyway,
again?
Close your
John
eyes and
Carpenter?
listen to this score and write your own movie to it.
No, Ennio Morricone did it.
Yeah, Ennio Morricone, and what a job he did. It's freaking fantastic.
Yes, but also I'll do this when we get into the debate. Go ahead.
All right. Well, let's open
Stop
it up.
Googling. You don't
again.
get to Google in the middle of a debate. God, this
No,
is
I know the answer to this. I'm just wanted to double check my answer.
Davin with all the rules, but yet he doesn't win.
I love how
All right,
Davin's like
anyway.
the heel of the podcast. Like he's like the, and also you said listen about 80 times so
Listen,
far. You're like,
listen,
listen.
Listen.
Right,
All right, tell me why
You've
your
all angered me
score-
today. This is all your
I'll-
fault.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why right now. Because Joseph LaDuca actually made music. He went through the various score building pianos. He has phrases. He has actual music. You can't make a score with John Carpenter's 4x4 theme song that does not make a movie score. And from what I've heard, it's just, again, from the dead man here. I forget the name already. One long droning synth. These are not scores. These are just somebody holding fingers on a key. If you want music, you want musicality. You want to hear and get feels of fear, excitement, and haunting,
I get a
memorable
real
music. It's an
I get
Evil
a
Dead
real
2.
clip. Like, if you just imagine what it looks like of like 40 violinists making that sound, like that's like revolutionary shit. Like you don't see that.
That's Foley. That's what that is.
That is Foley. But
That's Foley.
If you're discounting synthesizers not being music, is Daft Punk not music? Is The Weeknd not music? Like it's still music.
I mean,
It's still making
arguable,
noise
but-
that people like. It's music. And
Yeah, but we're talking about a score, which is encompassing of an entire film.
and the Evil Dead 2 score is great. It's great. I'm not gonna take that away from you. But I wouldn't remember
is
what that
General
song
Hospital, I
was
guess.
until I heard it again, and then I'd be like, okay. I couldn't sing it. If you said, "Hey, sing the song from Evil Dead 2," I would be like, "It's piano something. It's nice." But I could tell you the Halloween score. And Davin, John Carpenter did a lot of the music on that soundtrack as well. If you're looking at the whole score, it's not just Ennio Morricone. It's his own. And
The one
in
I
fact,
have is I have
it's
it
in
right
fact-
here, and it
they
doesn't say
recently-
John
they
Carpenter
rec-
for any of
if you look at the credits, it says composed by additional music by John Carpenter, uncredited because he did some
right
work.
here. They're
Yeah, you
all
look at the Apple
Ennio.
Music. But also, I submit this, sir. They put out a version of The Thing on vinyl, which I have, which is the score that Carpenter had made, and they used parts of, but not the whole thing, and the Ennio Morricone score. And the Carpenter score is amazing. That didn't. That's John Carpenter, and that's a recognizable theme from The Thing. So he's part of that too. I think Davin's mad that I actually made it onto this show after sleeping through my alarm and not being on earlier. I'm sorry, buddy.
I gotta go check on my kid.
I'll see you on the X-Rated podcast.
I gotta deal with my kid. I don't have time for this.
Ryland, do you have any thoughts on John Carpenter or anything to say against mine or Davin's choices?
Honestly, I mean, they're both great picks.
Yeah, they're all really good. Like, there's no losers here.
Yeah, this is a hard one. Because I like the thought of the fact that you hear it and you automatically know what it is. So the marketing is definitely there, which scores and marketing are something that are related.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah, so it's like the Oscar Mayer Wiener of scores.
That was iconic. That's an iconic jingle, though.
You know what it is?
So you're not actually helping things.
Yeah.
I think I am.
Yeah.
Can we play that to play out the show?
Oscar Mayer Wiener.
They're not getting free ads from us.
That's true. Yeah, they're not sending us money. We're not getting that wiener money.
You know what? This is a hard one. I don't actually really know who should win this one because you all made good points. Maybe not Davin as much, but you all made decent points. I'm just kidding, Davin. But you know what? I'm gonna be the asshole, Dave, and I'm gonna give a point to everybody.
Oh,
It adds to the chaos that is this show today.
You know what? If we're gonna fuck this show up, we might as well do it like a grand style.
yeah.
Alright.
Okay, well, so the round is passed. So let's move on to sports then.
All right. Sports. If you could transplant a sport into the world of a horror, thriller, show, or movie, what would this combo be? And let's start with Chris.
Well, I mean, the only combination of horror and sports that I could personally think of, because I personally am not a sports fan and admittedly not much of a horror fan, was hopefully producer Dave's got this on the trigger. The world of 13 Ghosts and professional wrestling. That's correct.
Disqualified, not a sport.
No, I disagree. Professional wrestling is a sport. There's physical activity. People get injured. These things.
So it's like the ballet.
I don't know. No words for your arguments. You can hold your tongue, sir. Think of the chaos that you would see having one of the 13 ghosts climb a ladder against one of wrestling's greatest heroes like The Undertaker or Kane, or you could even go modern with some of the spookier ones like Bray Wyatt, or even Stone Cold Steve Austin, just going one-on-one with Caged Head over here. You know, you could have a women's championship match with a naked knife-wielding ghost and Charlotte Flair. I think this is pure entertainment. This is what people want to see. It's a bloodbath in the ring.
All right. That was a very good pitch. All
fun.
right. Let's hear from André and Rye next.
All right. I'll go first, Rye. That's okay. Because
go for it.
So I think if you played baseball, but on the baseball diamond, the tremors were under the field, that would be one of the most entertaining things you could possibly watch. If someone's running to the bases in fear that a graboid is going to come out from under the earth and suck them down, they're going to run a lot faster, and it's going to make the running pattern a lot more interesting, as well as the people in the field trying to catch the ball. You know, you don't want to move, because if you move, the tremors are going to let the graboids know where you are. So you need to be very think about where you're going to move, how you're going to move, and who knows what player is going to get swallowed up next. So I think it'd be super entertaining, fun, and add some much needed fear of what's going to happen to this sort of game. I mean, it could work for football as well, but I think baseball would be interesting, very interesting.
Ryland, do you have a different answer?
I do, actually. I want to see Jason Voorhees actually stop a fucking goal in hockey. Now, you know, the iconic goalie mask wasn't around until the third installment, but it stuck from the third installment on. Before that, in the second one, he was a hayseed with a burlap sack over his head, and then the first one, it was his mom. But yeah, the look that became Jason Voorhees came from part 3, and I think, you know, we can definitely have a part 13, part 24 somewhere down the line where, like, he joins a hockey team and they're just like, man, this guy can really stop goals, but fuck, we got to cover up his murders.
Yeah. I love the idea of like a hockey team that like has a serial killer, just has to keep covering up his murders. So he's so good on the ice that they need to keep him for winning the games.
I'd be more worried about people that are getting in his crease.
Right?
Slashing.
Yeah, slashing takes a whole other 2-minute problem here.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right. Davin's up last for this round.
Mr. Davin.
Well, look, mine, unlike my distinguished opponents here, could actually be a movie. And I am combining Jason
But that has
Voorhees
nothing to do with this question.
Just go ahead.
Well, you have to have a reason for wanting to combine these things, and mine's to actually make a movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Mr. Director.
The one
The biathlon in Jason, because it, like, look, I'll get into why the other ones don't work, but mine, you're actually giving. So you have all these people skiing through the woods, and Jason Voorhees is running amok through those woods. But it's biathlon, so they all have a gun. So unlike in a lot of Jason movies where it's just a bunch of dummies running around with nothing that are just waiting to get killed, these people actually have a way to defend themselves somewhat against him. So it would just be a super interesting movie. They should have made that into a Jason movie. Quite frankly, it would have been better than most, if not all of them.
Well, Jason Takes Manhattan had that boxer. That was always fun.
Yeah, and if he punched him one more time, Jason would have fell off the roof. And he's just like, yeah, now it's your turn. Like,
God, I haven't seen that.
Better written. This would be better written.
I mean, that movie is so rough; it's hard to defend.
Through the woods in the winter.
Can we put him in the decathlon where he has to ski and then shoot? I like to see.
I was gonna say, is this Jason 69 Killer Snow Bunnies? Is that what?
Yeah, I like it. I'm in.
All right, if we throw Jason on skis, like it may be part of a
female
Scooby-Doo
athletes
episode.
are snow bunnies? Is this what the kind of show we're doing here? Oh,
I mean,
for one, if the Tremors are on a baseball field, it will literally take the Tremor.
Is there like some sort of rivalry between Chris and Davin that I'm not aware of?
No, we just get spicy. It's fun.
Oh, okay.
That's why our show is okay.
Like a professional wrestler, we work ourselves into shoots sometimes.
Look. Professional wrestling is ballerinas or like friggin' it's just acting. It doesn't matter that people get hurt.
No. There's professional
storytelling. It's just organized.
Impressive physical feats of human strength and acrobatic ways.
No, that's not what a sport is. You're talking about ballerinas.
Oh, really?
Stuntmen.
What are the Olympics then? What are the Olympics? What are the Olympics?
Competing against each other to see who's better at something. Exactly.
Yes. Doing what? Doing what?
Right, I want to hear from Ryan, Andre.
Depends on the sport.
You two have talked too much.
They're doing okay. Hang on.
Listen, I'm a professional wrestler.
Physical strength and acrobatic agility. That's what.
No, they're not. They're doing a competition.
I am
feats of strength and acrobatic ability. Wrestling is a sport. It's on sports TV.
It's labeled as sports entertainment.
That is true. And listen, I am a professional wrestler.
Propaganda.
I've been doing it for 16 years. And I sadly have to agree with Davin. Because I really do love wrestling. But it is, I mean, if you define sport as an actual competition, it's not. It's
the only thing that defines
piece. But I mean, it's just as physically demanding, and you need to be in good shape to do it, and it takes a lot of work. So it's just as hard and just as much training and work as a sport, but with the added pressure of trying to perform and entertain. So
and you know what?
I would argue
what would make this performing and entertaining, the sport performing and entertaining, ghosts having wrestling matches.
I agree. I would love to watch that. But I do think
then their agility and their strength becomes a legitimate sport because they're fighting for their own survival.
All right, I've made my decision.
All right.
It hurts me to do this, but I'm going to give this one to Davin because I think his sport would be the most fun to watch.
Yeah, they have guns.
They'd basically be hunted.
It's just another Jason movie in the snow. Come on.
Yeah, it's literally just going to turn into a Jason movie. Everybody has guns, but still, it would be
one we deserve. The Jason.
Right. Where the man gets shot a million times.
Although I do really think it's insane they haven't done one movie where he's in the snow yet. You know, they make some kind of a hockey reference. They've made
how much slower can they
12
make
of these
guy?
movies and they haven't done it.
All right. Anyway, next question.
Okay.
I don't got all day to listen to you guys. We got things to do.
It's already been all day.
I know. All right, history. Which serial killer with 3 or more victims was the most horrific and why? And we're going to start this one off with André.
Ooh, Ed Gein is the one I'm going with, who hasn't had a fancy Netflix series yet, but I'm sure it's coming. Mostly because the reverberations of what he did has become big parts of pop culture. So Ed Gein, for those unfamiliar, was the inspiration for Psycho because of his problematic relationship with his mother, the inspiration for The Family from Texas Chainsaw Massacre because of his proclivities of making a suit out of a woman and furniture and stuff out of body parts, and also cannibalism. And also Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs was based on him too because of his proclivities for making a woman's suit and having those complex transgender issues that kind of broke his mind. All of those were inspired by one guy who recently they had a graphic novel come out by the guy who made The Goon, Eric Powell, which is really, really good, called What Has Ed Gein Done? It's very, very good. It's dark, it's disturbing. It shows just how far things can go if people don't pay attention to what, to people or your neighbor or how troubled they may be.
All right, let's hear Rye. Just because you guys are kind of a team.
Well, it's sort of a plain answer, but at the same time, I find Bundy was extremely horrific. The dude broke the mold on what we consider a monster. I
can't remember if anybody picked that one, Dave. Did they?
Ted Bundy?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, so he can have it.
Yeah, monsters are everywhere, man. Even in the light of day, wearing a smile, and they can be charming. And that's you can see the allure. The dude was really well educated. Fuck yeah, I'll get in your car. Why not?
Invisible monster, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Let's go with Chris because Davin's not here yet. All right.
Although those are excellent choices, I chose the Zodiac Killer just due to the everlasting mystery of this horrific killer who basically had given median masses puzzles and clues that have almost yet to be figured out to this day. They have suspicions, but I don't know if they've actually been fully confirmed. There's nothing more terrifying than a guy who would literally just come out of nowhere and murder some folk with very carte blanche way and then taunt the mass media and people around it. The guy was so infamous that he's on par with Jack the Ripper just because of the fact that he's essentially gotten away with it. And that's pretty terrifying in my opinion. That's my choice. The Zodiac Killer.
All right. Davin, round it out.
I like the way you ended yours, Murphy. You're right. But you'd be more correct to say almost on par with Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper is by far the most terrifying. For one, he targeted women as if they didn't have enough stuff to fear walking down the street in dark alleys and in that place and time anyway. Two, all his crimes were in a very, very small, isolated community. So again, it increases the fear factor because your chances of actually being ripped by Jack the Ripper are huge. And they still couldn't catch him. It's all in this tiny little town. And it's before easy communication. So, it's not like you could get updates or anything like that back in those days. You're all on your own. There's a killer about in your tiny community targeting women, mutilating them. It's horrible, and still never been caught. Like the mystery still is scary. He could still be out there.
Well,
so
he would be dead at this point. But anyway,
unless he's an alien.
You don't know. He could be.
What do you mean I don't know that? He'd be like 130 at this point.
Yeah. There's a Star Trek episode where he's
actually more than that.
Exactly. Thank you.
I don't. Okay, I'll wait till the debate, but I have something to say about that one.
Well, we're pretty much at the debate now, so feel free.
Victorian horror is not that scary, like it was hey, like it has complex themes of whatever, but it may be when you live in it. But he had 8 victims, and sure, it was kind of horrific. But if you saw, but like.
As Kyle Kinane said, I once went on a tour for Jack the Ripper, and we found out he had 8 victims. We were twisting our ankles on cobblestone for 8 victims. There are shooters in America that have got 8 victims.
And they're not scarier than Jack the Ripper. Like, mass murder.
Well, listen, Ed Gein.
What if someone's creeping behind you at night in the streets?
Listen, Ed Gein plays in exactly what Ryland has said about Ted Bundy. He was the kindly guy that lived next door. The day he had a woman strung up in his garage, cut open like a deer, missing the hands and heads, got it down the center. A friend came to the door, knocked on it. A neighbor, he took him, gave him a ride into town, a kid, to somewhere he had to go, and then went back home. So he was like the kindly guy that people in the town liked and trusted while he was murdering people and also digging up corpses and having sex with them and making furniture out of body parts.
I'm not saying he's not a twisted fuck at all.
He was like the idea of not this kindly old guy in your town that seems delightful being this horrible monster.
But didn't these guys have specific types? Didn't Jack the Ripper like women? Didn't Ed Gein? Prostitutes, right?
So they
all
know
had
they
a specific type, right?
They know their target. The fear.
You know what's terrifying about the Zodiac Killer? It wasn't a type.
No.
It was just whoever. It was just whoever was in front of him at the moment in time.
So again, there's no fear factor there. It just seems like a random.
There is a fear factor because it could be literally anybody at any given time could come up and kill you. It's not a specific. Oh, if you're in a demographic, you're going to be fine.
But your numbers game of anyone at any given time is huge compared to being in this small isolated community,
which makes it more terrifying.
Outdoor lighting where people are
dying. If you know there's a guy in your general area that's been killing people and getting away with it for 20 years, it's going to make you terrified to walk those streets in that general area.
He basically just represents death itself. You never know when it's coming. It could be him.
What's scarier? The guys next door?
A car, it could be a bus, could be a meteorite that's in the heaven you're walking over.
As a kid, you're always told to stay away from creepy Bill's house because he likes to touch kids, so you don't go near the house. Same thing for Ed Gein. With Jack the Ripper, if you weren't female, you pretty much got off. In fact, there's a good chance that Jack the Ripper was just an aristocrat rich man that was a doctor, and he just wanted to play
Ed Gein was loved by his community. Nobody knew what he was until they discovered what he was. He was not a scary man.
Ed Gein was a clown.
No, that was a different person completely. That was Gacy.
That was
John
Gacy.
Wayne Gacy.
Yeah. Never mind.
Gein was a kindly old guy who had some really complex mother issues and was like dominated by his mother's whole life. Had real problems keeping any kind of a relationship.
Scary.
Yeah, he is. If you're staying at the hotel.
Ryan, do you have anything to say here?
Yeah, I'm still all for Bundy on this one. I mean, like, yeah, it was just women that he killed, but I mean,
Zac Efron is delightful.
Oh, isn't he?
Al Bundy's scarier than Ted Bundy.
I don't know about that.
Let's bring Zac Efron back for a sequel where he sings. He serenades the women into his car. He's just like,
there you go. All right, I think I've made my decision on this one based on the argument mostly, and based on the facts that were presented. I'm going to give this one to André.
It's fair. It's fair. This is not my wheelhouse.
Sadly, it's mine. I don't want to know if I want to be associated in the wheelhouse of serial killers. You know what? André knows a lot about serial killers.
All right.
Looks like it's a 3-way 2-point tie since he loses that point for being late.
I'll take it. Well accepted.
We haven't gone through deductions yet.
I do have to apologize for that, guys. It's totally my fault.
Anyway. Okay, Jody, ready for wild card?
Yeah, and Chris and Davan, one of you two guys need to get this to seal the deal here.
Oh, good. Can we skunk him out? We can skunk him out. Amazing.
Yeah, somebody can leave. So
I like my answer. So
that's all right. First? You can like it. It doesn't mean that I did. But anyway.
no, it's good. It's good.
I'm just kidding.
He is a dark and complex overlord.
If you could make a video game out of an existing horror movie TV show, what would it be? Must not have already been made or announced. We're gonna start this one off with Rye, I think.
Alrighty, so for mine, I picked The Frighteners.
Good choice.
I'd have it as with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
A Peter Jackson movie.
Exactly.
Really? I didn't know that.
Right. Sandbox style game, and you get to play as Frank Bannister as well as also his ghost buddies. So you play as the ghost buddies, and when you're playing as them, the goal is to go into people's houses, scare the Frighteners into them, get Frank in there to do his psychic investigator thing, and get money so he can keep building his house. All the while, there is some sort of like big actual paranormal threat going on where he actually has to be a psychic investigator and try and save the town.
I love that movie. Good choice.
That's actually a pretty good choice. Yeah. All right. Let's hear from Chris next.
Alrighty. So my choice was the horror. I would call it horror. Ichi the Killer. Which is one of my favorite films from Takashi Miike. I think this would be a great video game because you could play as Ichi the Killer going on a spree, basically just mutilating the Yakuza, trying to find your boss, and basically just go on a ham spree, like just wild. Like the fact that this guy can detach his jaw and like catch people's fists and stuff. I think it would be a game on par with like Sifu, but way more bloody and way more violent. Let's say, Sifu mixed with like, what's a really good like bloody sword game? I did not come prepared for this. Yeah, we'll just go with like a very bloody, gory Sifu because it's Ichi the Killer. Oh yeah, a bit like Yakuza. Think Yakuza the game as well. But yeah, like you could be Ichi the Killer and just mess people up. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
All right, let's go with Davan next.
Neither of those are horror. Okay, here's the everything scary with Peter Jackson is the thought of sitting through Lord of the Rings movies. So, Event Horizon. My game would be like two games in one, sort of in both different from each other, both scary.
I wanted
in
to
their
say
own
this,
way.
but you stole it. That's funny.
But yeah, because it's perfect.
It is.
So at first you have this like space exploration and sort of like mystery game aboard this like dark ship. So it's like slow paced but scary because you don't know what's going to happen. This movie anything could happen in Event Horizon. And eventually you get to the point in the game where you reach your first main objective and all of a sudden a portal to hell opens and it's like you're in a Doom friggin' game. You know what I'm saying? So you go from this quiet build up to this like insane ending. That sounds very fun to me. And then, space exploration first. That's fun. Space exploration, mysteries, and then pow, the gates to hell are open. Your friends become demons.
You're like, that's not horror, but space exploration, that is.
Yeah, space ghost.
Didn't he just argue about that at a couple questions back?
Delightfully going through the stars.
Yeah.
All right,
Andre.
So yeah, I did initially want to do Event Horizon, but I did think of another one that I liked, and it's funny that Ryland had picked The Frighteners, which is the favorite movie of mine, because my movie is also by Peter Jackson. It's his second or third film. It's called Dead Alive, also sometimes known as Brain Dead. And it basically involves a young man who has a domineering mother. The mother gets bitten by a Sumerian rat monkey at a zoo, which is something that was taken from Skull Island, which is a fun nod to King Kong. The monkey gives her some kind of virus, which has her slowly start turning into a zombie that she is his mother, so he's trying to care for her while she's biting other people. And eventually the town is becoming overrun with zombies that he keeps just collecting and storing in his basement, trying to hide them and contain them from getting out. Eventually it goes way too far, and he has to strap a lawnmower to his chest and go to town. And it's an insanely fun, it's maybe the goriest movie ever made, but it's also one of the funnest. And the last time I had a screening of it with some friends, we laughed incredibly hard the entire time. It's one of the most entertaining movies ever. But the idea of just a lot of hordes of zombies running at you and a lot of fun ways to kill them all would be a very, very fun game.
All right.
Do you get to play as the Reverend at all? I kick ass for the Lord.
You should definitely play as the Reverend for that one scene until you have to go back to playing the main character. 100%. He does kick ass for the Lord.
Horror. Andre's doesn't sound like a game.
Mine is a body horror.
The end of my game.
Yeah, there's 100 games that are my game.
That's a horrifying.
What are you gonna do in a fright?
It is. Yeah, I'm gonna let him have itchy because it is definitely a. It's
okay. Like think of it this way. Think of the martial arts of Sifu mixed with the gameplay of Dead Rising. Okay.
Yeah.
I
don't even know what you're talking about. You're speaking English.
Yeah, that's because you don't know video games at all. So what do you know about anything?
Because I know story and movies, and that's why
Dead Alive.
Every answer is a movie, even when the question that wasn't about movies was a movie.
I remember Doom.
Dead Alive would have been basically Dead Rising. Similar idea, just running through making various weapons that you can, and then hunting zombies. I really wanted to say Dawn of the Dead, but it had a game, and it's also Dead Rising as well, basically.
Yeah, Dead Rising is basically Dawn of the Dead.
So basically, your movie is already a game that's been made.
Yeah, but mine would be funner.
Mine would be scary, friggin' like mystery.
And in my movie, you get to play as a kick-ass Irish priest that like roundhouse kicks zombies and beats them up. It's really fun.
Right, feel free to step in at any time. You don't have to wait for us to stop talking. You can just interrupt if you got a thought.
I
already decided he's said itchy.
The Frighteners is amazing as a video game, in my opinion. Like, throw Rockstar on it. Like, it's like LA Noire with fucking ghosts and shit.
I do like that.
So
idea.
there is actually a very little known Sega Genesis game called what was it? Haunting with Poltergeist. And it's actually a very similar concept to what you actually pitched, but it's not the same thing. But it's very close. Where
Splatterhouse? Does anybody remember Splatterhouse?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. The Mask. Yeah. I remember the ad in the comic books where they made it like a horror setup to a horror movie where you find the mask, and then it kind of the intro, the whole page was like a little story that led you into the game.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, whoa, hello. She's cheering for Davan.
She's getting in on it,
yeah. She's cheering for Davan.
She did say my name.
Yeah, it's true. So is Sam apparently.
People's chat.
To be quite honest, this is down to 2 for me. And ironically, it's the 2 that need to actually fight for it. So it's actually Chris and Davan are the 2 that I like the most. So I'm gonna actually just leave it to these guys. You have 30 seconds each to tell me why your game is better than the other guy's game.
I just don't get the other game. It just like sounds like some Yakuza sword fighting thing. It sounds like friggin' like Assassin's Creed or something. I don't know. It just doesn't have the horror feel that I think we're looking for on a horror show. But creepy mystery. Basically, my game starts off as Alien and then becomes Doom. Like it would be super fun. It's got the name Event Horizon. You've got characters that like become part of the story because they become demons. Sam Neill, for example, you're captain. You're very captain.
Sam Neill's not the captain.
He's the doctor or whatever.
Lawrence Fishburne is the captain.
Sam Neill's
the scientist guy. Yeah,
he created the
ship. You know why my game would be better? Listen, I'll tell you this. I've played Silent Hill and I've played games like Dead Rising, and you know what I've had more fun playing was games like Dead Rising. Because Event Horizon is basically Silent Hill. You're going to be stuck on a ship. You're going to go maybe through a room here or there, and it's going to get a little trippy, and you might get a pop-up scare. That doesn't
until
really
the gate to hell opens, until the portal
you're in the gate
opens.
and then what happens? You don't know weapon mechanics, no fighting mechanics. You just got to run through hell and be a scared Sam. What's his last name? I forget.
Neil.
Sam Neill. You're just gonna be a scared Sam Neill. You got to pretend like you're running away.
He's not scared. He becomes a demon.
I feel like that. That's what I feel is going to happen.
No, you like your imagination of the creators.
Ichi the Killer sounds way more fun because you just get to go on a slaughterfest. You get to have your splatterhouse, but it's Ichi the Killer style. And if you've seen that movie, you know it's going to be wild.
The fun enemies you could come up with when a gate to hell opens, like you could do super unique boss fights, anything like that.
All right. This is a hard one because actually I'd play both of these. I would play both of them to hell, for sure.
The Event Horizon one, I feel would have to be like Until Dawn, like one of those ones you can.
It would have to be like Until Dawn, yeah.
But which I love. I love that game, so I would be down.
But I actually am very intrigued by the idea of Ichi being in the Yakuza games because the Yakuza games are very kind of GTA kind of orientated, but you also do
not horror
stuff like that. Well, no, but that's the whole idea of this thing was to make it out of something. You know what? I'm going to give this one to Chris.
Ha!
Sorry, Davan.
What a day.
The conspiracy theory of Davan continues.
Oh, no.
I wanted to give it to Davan, but he just had better points.
Oh, did he
Look,
leave?
he's even leaving. He's even
Davan. Oh,
I'm not going to be here anymore.
I'm going to have to talk to him.
All right. So what are our final scores here? All right, so André and Rylander have 3, Chris has 3, and Davan has 2. So Davan's been eliminated. So this is where we're at, gentlemen. Now, the way that the speed round works is we're doing 30 seconds per answer. You're going to be given 2 answers to the question that we're proposing. Whoever yells out that answer first gets to debate it. Okay, so I've already pre-picked the answers. Now, there is a couple that actually are open-ended. We'll let you know if it's open-ended. Open-ended basically means you can yell out anything and we'll take it.
Sports and speed and wild card are open.
Sports and wildcat are both open-ended questions. So we'll see if we get to that point. Well, we'll probably get to sports anyway.
That's right, Sam. Davan fell under my hand.
No.
Sam is not happy with my choice, but that's okay.
Yeah,
the show has lost any credit.
You made it.
I think we lost that in the first 30 minutes of this show. But anyway.
You made a powerful enemy on this day, my friend.
Now, you got to kind of manage André and Ryland being a team here a little bit.
Yeah, I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to ask one of them to be the person that yells it out
for that round. So
yeah, we'll alternate maybe.
So yeah, we'll do André, then we'll do Rye, then we'll do André, then we'll do Rye. How's that?
That's good.
Sounds good.
Sound good? All right.
All right.
Let's do it. And keep in mind, you cannot answer until I have actually said the entire question with the answers. Okay. So you can't
get 30 seconds. Then the other person goes 30 seconds. Then you get 30 seconds again, and then another 30 seconds. So it's a total of a minute, I guess.
All right. All right. Let's do this. First question. Movies. Best horror movie protagonist. Ellen Ripley from the Alien movies or Ash Williams from the Evil Dead movies?
Ash Williams.
All right. Well, I heard André first, but you guys also picked different choices, so it doesn't matter. So André, tell me why.
All right, listen, I love Ash. I'm not going to take it away from Ash. Those movies are great. But Ellen Ripley was the start of something different in horror. When they made that movie, it was full of character actors we were all familiar with. There was one person we had no idea who they were. That was Sigourney Weaver's character, because as an actress, she'd not been in anything really up until that point. So that movie, that they used that to make you not think she was going to make it to the end. They picked off all of the famous actors or character actors we knew and left her at the end and created essentially a feminist icon in horror, which is something that wasn't a big deal at the time. Has
Your rebuttal.
been better, but not as
All
good.
right, Chris.
Ash Williams is the king of groovy. The man can spin a shotgun with a single hand and hold a chainsaw with a chainsaw hand. What is cooler than that? He takes down the Deadites, and he does it not only in one movie, he does it in 2 movies, he does it in 3 movies by going back in time and fighting an army of darkness while still like scaring everyone with his boomstick. The guy is suave, he is cool, and he's probably one of the best horror movie protagonists of all time.
Your rebuttal.
I don't.
All right, open debate.
Hey, Ash isn't even the only one-handed zombie killer. We have Rick Grimes as well, if you read the comic books. But Ellen Ripley has been in more movies than Ash Williams has, although not a series, unfortunately. But there's been at least 4 Alien movies that she's been in. And also she, like as a character, she's been fantastic. She was like a, sorry, I'm getting lost myself, but complex things about motherdom, about like when Alien, about survival, her being the only really smart one making smart choices on the show. It started a trend of women not just being people
Your rebuttal.
by the monster, and she did it.
I mean, I would argue if one of them is the higher protagonist, it would be Ash, because if you do include the Evil Dead series, well, then it just shows that the man has more screen time, which means people want to watch Ash Williams take out the Deadites and the continuing story of trying to end the Evil Dead series. I don't feel like Ellen Ripley really is that great of a protagonist because, frankly, she is... yeah, thank God, because I was speaking out of my ass there.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one to Andre.
Yay. Hey, I love
Ash. When it comes to Ellen Ripley and Ash Williams, to be fair, both of them in like their first foray out were very sensitive and just like, I don't know. They don't really actually become badass until their sequels.
The second movie, yeah.
Agreed. But you know, there are a lot of Ashes. There's really only one Ellen Ripley. So I love Ash too, but you know, I feel like for the sake of being the central point of something that was unique and started something different, Ripley did.
Alrighty. Let's get moving. All right, Speed Round TV. Which TV show did a better Halloween-themed episodes? The Office, the U.S. version, or Roseanne?
Roseanne.
The Office.
Again, you two just picked the second ones.
All right, Ryland, 30 seconds.
All right, yeah. So like Roseanne was part of that like 90s like TV lineup that we all fucking like got our asses on the couch to watch. And yeah, say what you will about The Woman, like that show was brilliant. It handled a lot of different issues, and those Halloween episodes were something we all looked forward to every single year.
All right.
Your rebuttal.
You got like Michael Scott's costume, and you got Jim's costume, and you got Pam's costume, and there's other characters in that show.
Have you seen
right?
The
You
Office?
got their costume.
He's just labeling costumes.
There's
those costumes are great.
That guy, he got a stapler and Jello, right? Yeah, there was that time too. Dwight was his name. Yeah,
that wasn't a Halloween episode.
Your rebuttal.
Wasn't he Jello in it?
The Office.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah,
The Office just straight up sucks nuts. I'm sorry. I've been trying really hard to get into that show.
That's not.
I
yeah,
like
well,
show, but Roseanne
that's
was
fair. It has its following for sure, but I can relate better to the Blue Collar Family personally, and like they're like on a budget trying to like make Halloween as a family. Like that's something beautiful.
Your rebuttal.
I mean, if we're gonna talk entertaining, The Office is far more entertaining than Roseanne. The Roseanne is just like American family trauma in every episode. How many like ways do you want to walk out sad watching a Roseanne episode? And the Halloween episodes were just a little emphasis with a bit of makeup on top of it. The Office at least was like funny. You know, there were actually like some really good funny moments throughout The Office that I can't remember because it's been forever to watch. But so therefore the Halloween episodes were extra funny. Like think of the moment when Creed walks in and he's covered in blood and like, oh, great costume, Creed. He's like, this is just a really, really good coincidence. That's my favorite Creed moment. And that's probably makes The Office.
It's so cringy. It's so cringy.
All right. I'm gonna give this one to Rye.
Yay.
You debated it like you've never seen it. Like,
well, I couldn't remember an Office episode of Halloween to be like, oh, make up this until that very last moment. It was like, oh right, Creed walks in covered in blood. It was the funniest fucking moment in any Office
that was a
Halloween
good
episode.
moment for sure.
Yeah.
And like, I can't honestly remember anything outside of that, so I was struggling trying to remember a Halloween. I should have just spoke about The Office instead.
All right.
Yeah.
Creed was a highlight.
So this one's going to be Andre and Chris. And Chris needs some catching up to do here. So come on, Chris. All right. Music. Which musician would make a great killer in a slasher film? Alice Cooper or Marilyn Manson?
Manson.
Alice Cooper.
All right. Well, Andre got in there first.
And you got Manson. All right.
Yep.
All right. Alice Cooper's always been a bit of a shock rocker, and he's been great. He certainly paved the way for people like Marilyn Manson. But Manson himself became something that was a central figure in real life horrific accidents, and people were blaming him for like the Columbine shooting and blaming him for claiming he was murdering puppies at shows. It really like started something that if you were to make a horror movie based on those ideas, it would work well. So like there are a lot of things like a cult of personality going around a character, a Zionist figure like Marilyn Manson.
Your rebuttal.
Like that's where to go.
I mean, if the cult of personality is, rape, then yeah, I guess Marilyn Manson is,
that's horrifying too.
Great horror, figure in that sense. But I think Alice Cooper is better because the man, he's put on a lot of show, but he's cut off more heads than Marilyn Manson ever has. He has ways of horror and scaring people that are countless over Marilyn Manson. Manson just tries to freak people out by showing it.
Your rebuttal.
Alice Cooper wrote a book on golf. He's not terrifying. He's a golf enthusiast.
Have you ever played golf
all the time? I have, yes. And
it's terrifying sometimes.
Not it can be, but there are
especially my game.
There are not a lot of golf-based horror movies. Maybe we should rectify that. But the thing is, Alice Cooper is a great guy, but he's kind of fun and he's a really normal, down-to-earth guy. There's a mystique about Marilyn Manson, which permeates culture. And yes, he does have. I don't know
your rebuttal
of his issues with
Alice
women,
Cooper has connections with Frankenstein. I mean, the man knows how to bring back bodies. He's wrote a whole song about it, for fuck's sakes. I mean, I think Alice Cooper is a more terrifying individual than Marilyn Manson running naked in a football field will ever be.
All right, I've made my decision. I'm giving this one to Chris.
No, come on.
He basically said along the lines of, "This is a guy who knows how to entertain, and he would definitely get it right."
It's a good thing is he needed that point.
Yes, he did actually
to stay in this. Okay, so then Ryland has the next round. So here we go.
All right. Sports. What horror villain would make a great team mascot? Open question. You can say whatever you want.
For fuck's sakes.
This is a no-brainer. Come on.
You be quiet, Andre.
Yeah, all right. Just listen to the delightful sirens in the background.
All right,
goddamn, I can't think.
He's not a sports guy. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the Broad Street Bully then.
All right.
What is that?
It's the mascot of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay, but who would play him?
You want a horror movie villain to be the mascot?
To be the mascot.
Oh,
like if Freddy was a
not
mascot
the other way
for
around.
A team. Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
But I will tell you that would be interesting.
Misunderstood the question there.
I think Gritty would be the most horrifying.
Gritty would be
mascot,
definitely the worst
mascot turned serial killer. Yeah.
Mascot, yeah.
A horror villain that would make a great team mascot.
Yeah, for any sport, doesn't matter what it is.
For any sport, okay. Well then,
do we need to circle back around to this question?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, let's circle back to this question. Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
I'll let you guys do that one. All right, history. What civilization in history would make for a great zombie-based TV show? Ancient Egypt or Viking era?
Vikings.
Viking era.
All right, I heard. Who did I hear first?
Viking era.
I think I heard Ryland first.
I think I heard Ryland too.
Okay.
All right, so Ryland got Viking.
Okay.
I think it was André that said.
I think I didn't realize. I thought when you switched, it was my go.
Oh, okay.
No,
then it's yours. 30 seconds. Go.
Oh, okay. Vikings are awesome. I mean, I've always said that the Predator movie should just pick a different era of film and then put like people in them. Cowboys, Vikings. Vikings would be the most entertaining. I mean, the show Vikings and all the shows based around it, all the fantasy shows people love are like Game of Thrones is basically kind of that. So like put Vikings in with zombies and it would be very entertaining. I would love to see Vikings hacking apart Lords of the Undead, maybe put a necromancer leading them, and that would be a very entertaining show.
Your rebuttal.
I'd happily watch.
All right.
I think necromancy is the key to what would make an ancient Egyptian civilization history-based zombie. You could literally have the pinpoint of the zombie infection happen in Egypt, and you could have the doctors and necromancers of the time try and battle and use sorcery to contain these zombies since they start introducing mummification. So that becomes a whole thing. And it's all really just a battle, a zombie apocalypse that could actually wipe out human civilization at the beginning peak of its time.
Hey, man, you look at shows like The Northman and that movie and those ones that just came out, man, there's some really dark magical imagery. If you had like Bjork out there making zombies in the woods and in an intrepid group of Viking raiders having to stop her, I'd be very interested in watching that show, and I think it would lead to some very entertaining things. Like you talked about Evil Dead, seeing Army Darkness, seeing medieval zombies is very entertaining and fun. And if you put that with Vikings and had a whole group of people with various weapons, strong men that look like beards and bald heads, it'd be very entertaining for me.
I think Bjork would get chewed to pieces as she sang a really sad song while attacking Vikings on the two most boring set pieces you could think of. A boat and the shoreline when the boat reaches the shoreline, because that's all Vikings are fucking known for, sitting on boats and going to shorelines. When you could have an entire city of Egypt and have the intricacies of all the underground pipeways and waterways to the massive pyramids and the historical situations and features and the hierarchy of the rich to the poor.
All right. They were both pretty good arguments, but one definitely got me better, which was Chris's. So I'm going to go with Chris.
I'm hanging in there, baby.
What's your set piece going to be? Sand? Your background is just sand.
An entire city.
Of sand. Have you seen Norway? Jesus.
All right.
Are we ready to go back to that sports question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so this will be Ty and Chris.
All right, so I'm going to go with Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger. All right, and what sport?
I'm gonna
so we know.
I'm gonna actually take this away from Chris and go Ultimate Fighting Championship. Some MMA.
Okay. I didn't know they had mascots in the MMA, but
you know what? Like, why not?
Why not?
They don't have mascots
all right,
in the MMA.
Let's hear it. Why?
Why? All right. So first off, like, he's terrifying. He would razz the combatants, and then after they get knocked the fuck out, then he goes into their dreams and fucking kills them.
All right.
Yep.
That's
your rebuttal.
That's short and sweet. All right.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to watch fighters go to sleep, then yeah, I guess Freddy Krueger is the choice mascot for a UFC, which is honestly puts me to sleep sometimes. What I would choose would be for a mascot would be Pinhead in basketball, because irony. Really, like if you think about it, what funnier mascot for basketball, a rubber bouncing air than a man covered in pins?
Okay. See, I mean, he wouldn't really be like, raring up the crowd or anything, though. He just kind of stands there menacing, like, "Ugh!" Whereas like Freddy Krueger, like he may as well take the job out of the commentator's hands and like just completely destroy people with his words. And then with the whole going to sleep thing, it's from getting knocked out.
Your rebuttal.
So is Freddy Krueger a mascot or a commentator? I think the question here is mascot, and hyping up the crowd is kind of a key factor in being a mascot. I couldn't think of somebody that would hype up a crowd more than Pinhead, pulling gates of hell open and showing off a few tricks to maybe with some cheerleaders by pulling their skin apart on the sidelines and really, terrifying the other team on the court, so that, LeBron can get the extra 3-pointers, we're going to assume he's part of the Lakers. So,
all right.
Pinhead basketball.
They were both intriguing, I guess is a good way. I don't know if I'd want either one of these, quite honestly. But between that, if we just go straight on the debate side of things, I'm going to give this one to Murphy.
Yep. Okay, so this
Better
next,
debate.
we have the last speed round question coming up.
So André and Ryland have to get this one. I think
they
it's
have to
Andre's
get
turn.
to force a tie. Yeah.
Now this is also an open-ended question too.
It's an open-ended question, so hopefully we do better with the brainstorm on this one.
Yeah, hopefully, because I don't have anything else to go to after this. So
okay, but this is Andre's turn, right? Yeah. So
yeah, it's Andre's turn. Yep.
All right.
Yep. All right. Last question. Speed round wild card. Remake a Disney animated movie into a horror movie, pitching the concept.
Oh no.
Pocahontas.
Already not a horror movie.
Pocahontas. Let's hear it.
Oh, okay. This.
I am actually genuinely intrigued on this. I want to know.
You just picked a random one, and now you're stuck with it.
Yeah, Colors of the Wind. Come on.
All right, I got mine.
Colors of the Wind of Red Blood. That's what happens when you bring Pocahontas and her war army against Chris and his rapist white crew of ship enthusiasts. It's going to turn into a bloodbath because these people will not let them wander on to the sands. Because if they do so, they will unlock a spooky entity being that could potentially ravish and kill all of humanity on Earth, a demon, if you will. And Pocahontas and her tribe are basically the ones that are keeping that back, and they're trying to keep old Christopher Robin from reaching that. Him and his
your rebuttal.
His angry crew.
All right.
All right, my choice is The Black Cauldron, which is a Disney animated movie that isn't quite as well known, but is already mostly a horror movie. It is about a group of kids that go against a being called the Horn King, who's essentially an animated skeleton with horns that creates an army of the undead that wants to take over the world. It is a delightful little movie. It almost bankrupt Disney because it was so dark, kids were scared of it, and it didn't do super well. But it is a fantastically fun movie that is excellent. Pocahontas is just a real life story that's sad.
Your rebuttal
actually is a good movie.
It is sad, but you could make it a horror movie in the sense that, I mean, I didn't want to draw direct comparisons, but I'm going to do it. They made one called Prey, where it's basically predators chasing basically Pocahontas, So like there is elements of potentially great horror adaptation of what has always been a very sad and lovey story. You could have a tree come to life and just like eviscerate people. Very bad at horror, guys.
Your rebuttal.
Yeah, Pocahontas is like a 12-year-old that tried to help a bunch of assholes and then eventually got screwed over because of it. But the Horn King is one of the most terrifying Disney villains ever created, and one that doesn't give it enough due. He is essentially a villain is the core piece to any horror movie, and the Horn King is one of, if not the best Disney offerings that they have brought out. The voice work, everything about him was terrifying. An army of the undead just destroying cities. And the imagery is certainly incredibly disturbing and something that will lend itself very easily to horror.
All right. I'm kind of stuck here because I would like to see both of these. So that kind of bothers me. So I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds. You can mull it over yourselves. I want you to give me the best tagline for your movie. All right. So give me the best tagline that we're going to put on it.
Oh no. Okay.
And whoever's ready first can feel free.
Oh God.
Give me a 30-second timer, Dave.
No one's speaking.
Pocahontas, protect the bloodline.
This is about racial purity now? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I think I need.
I was watching SmackDown the other day.
All right.
Horror is history.
Horror is history. I like it. Damn. I don't really want to give this one, but I am anyway. I'm going to give this to Murphy. And only because it's the more
no idea what he was saying.
And on top of it, I almost feel like Black Cauldron was already a horror movie. Like it was pretty dark.
It wasn't marketed as one, but it certainly
it wasn't marketed, but it definitely had that vibe. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Chris. So where are we now? Tied?
No, it's over.
Chris is actually won.
Baby.
Oh, okay.
One.
I'm sorry. All right, Chris has won.
I put my mask back on, for I am the winner, the great wizard,
I think he looks
Chris
like that.
Murphy.
He looks like that lady from The Handmaid's Tale.
He's offered.
All right, producer Dave.
Yes. Coming back in here now. Ooh, here we are.
Oh, with the flash.
Yeah. Well,
I
I'm
barely saw you show up
the whole
Dave.
time.
I'm so fast. I was a flash.
Did you hear that the whole time?
No, not the whole time.
Just
but-
most of it.
Yeah, just most of it. Well, guys, thanks for this this episode of Trivial
Very
Debates.
Odd
And
episode, but
congratulations to Murphy. Yeah, it's been quite the trek for some of us, and thank you for Ryland for coming in on the last minute. Thanks, André, for coming back. After this morning, and especially to Jody and Murphy and Davan for sitting patiently through all of our casting issues, and Sam and the comments. Congrats to Chris Murphy on he said you were the correct winner.
Oh, I have Sam's approval. All right.
Yes,
Which is
have his
rare
approval.
because I normally don't.
He felt okay with this decision you
He was
made
okay
here.
with my judging. Okay.
But this was a close one.
It was. I was really hard on that last one.
Yeah. No, it was tough.
Good,
But
it was fun.
There was some
I
great
think
moments.
The Black Cauldron would have been a better horror movie, but I'm just intrigued by the concept of Pocahontas just.
What's great
Going
about that is he
straight out.
literally pulled it out of his ass and didn't know what he was going to do with it, and then
Yeah.
somehow
No
managed
idea.
to mold it
Yeah.
into something that sort of made sense, but also
Well, it was a pretty good comeback for him too.
Protect the
because
bloodline. I was like,
there.
you don't even need to introduce this whole like mystical thing in the forest. I would just have like the white invaders slaughter everybody.
that's
and
pretty much
Sam
what
says-
happened.
Yeah.
Sam says
Technically,
Andre
the
is
white
the rookie
invaders
of the
get
year.
slaughtered.
Andre is the rookie of the year. That's high praise. Okay, well, thanks for being with us today on this episode of Trivial Debates. We'll be back next month at the end of November for our music part 2 edition. I know Jameel Robinson's coming in for that one. I think Davan's hosting it, and it's going to be sort of a rematch of what we did in September. And so check that out. Also, you should check out everything we have here on the United Federation of Podcasts, including we got some great ones here, including there's the Graphics History podcast, of course, that's coming up, guys, or coming back from hiatus, right, Andre?
Yep. I'm just working that out now.
We got the X-Rated podcast every Tuesday with Andre and Dav and talk about the X-Men, the animated series. Guys, are still in season 3?
Yep. Almost getting close to the end.
You should also check out Hold Up. Last night, it was Chris Murphy and Davin talking about werewolf movies for some 3 hours, I believe.
Some 3 hours. Wow.
Just
Davin,
the intro to this show
we're
is
working
bad.
on it.
Davin has worked hard to try to get me to do that one with you guys, and I'm like, I just don't have the time, and it makes me feel even better that I know it's a 3-hour show that I definitely don't.
So
have
I'm a little worried now because
We're-
I actually
we're
told
trying-
them that I would show up on this.
Good luck.
And if you're going to tell
we're
me it's
working
3
on-
hours, I'm not showing up.
No. We're gonna get it under 2. We promise.
All right. I can
Oh, so
probably
check-
do 2.
Check out the Super Mater Brothers podcasting, which does reality TV like Survivor and Big Brother. You can check that one out. We have Live Long and Podcast, our Star Trek themed channel, where we're talking about Star Trek all the times. Monday nights, Star Trek Enterprise Rewatch podcast. Tuesdays, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Thursdays, we're talking about the newest Star Trek episode, including Star Trek Prodigy right now, which just came back. Also, Star Trek Lower Decks just ended, so we've covered our coverage there. We've got Star Trek Discovery coming up, Star Trek Picard, lots of different shows in our Star Trek coverage, as well as the Locutors of Trek, which is Davin's branch of Live Long and Podcast, where they're doing, they just did a podcast about the Mirror Universe, and they do debates and different things. So we got lots of great content on Live Long and Podcast and all of the great members of the United Federation.
Sam says, when does the next Hold Up coming?
That will be within November, early November, first 2 weeks. So yeah, we're trying to do
Within
it
the next 2 weeks.
try-
Right.
Yeah, within the next 2 weeks. We're trying to keep on a 15th and 30th.
What's the
schedule,
next
give
one?
or take. The next one's going to be about dystopia. So we're gonna
I'm
be
on that
reviewing-
one. I'm coming in for that
Yeah.
one. So,
Yeah, we're watching. What are we watching? We're watching Gattaca, We're
Mhm.
watching Logan's Run, and I can't wait to make Davan watch Southland Tales. 2 hours and 25 minutes of Davan watching Southland Tales because he
with
made
Kevin
me
Smith.
watch The Tingler. Is Kevin Smith in Southland Tales?
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I forgot that.
He's in his makeup.
He has no He has no legs.
And he's done up like an old man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I gotta look out for that. That's gonna be good.
You should hear the story from Kevin Smith when he tells about being cast in Southland Tales, and they're like, "Hey, will you shave your head?" And he was like, "No." So,
well, that's Southland Tales is a deep cut. Have fun with that one.
Sam is asking if you can do a Newfoundland themed hold up.
That's a tougher one to do, but
that might be
that's not a terrible idea, Sam. We'll put that in the books and see what we can come up with. Maybe we can even get André and Rye on for an episode someday.
Maybe. Lastly, check out our friends of the podcast, the Hellbound podcast, Alex Chan and Alex Blackburn and Michael Chan on Wednesdays. And then there's also the Let's Talk About Fighting Games with Eamon Mader, also known as Sam Jerka. Okay. Well, thanks for being with us, guys, on this episode of Trivial Debates. Congratulations again to Chris Murphy. And,
thanks for joining us, Rye.
Hey,
I just want the hardcore title of Trivial Debates. We pulled this thing out of a car wreck of a fire, and
we did it, and we're under 2 hours. So, hey, congratulations. After we spent about 35 minutes on the movie round. So
yeah, this show would have only been an hour if we actually did it on time.
Yeah, no, I just wanted people to know that's my fault. I was in a play last night. This is not an excuse, but I slept right through my alarm.
We understand. You were the Frankenstein monster.
It was called Frankenstein. I was the creature in it. Yeah. I co-directed it, and we did it for a week here in Toronto. It went really well. It was really, really good. A lot of good feedback.
All right.
Awesome.
Good work.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time here on Trivial Debates. All right. Let's play out.
Right.
I was hoping for some Andre's like, I'm gone.
I'm just out of here.